Welcome everybody back to another Boldcast reaction. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
And this is Attack on Titan Season 4, Episode 18. What happened last time?
Last time was just the entire episode was basically a cliffhanger. They just revisited everything that was already a cliffhanger from last time, extended it by like 5 minutes each, and then left it again.
Yeah, this is pretty much like a 3-parter, including episode 16 from last year.
It just keeps going the rest of the season.
Classic Attack on Titan, this is nothing new. We've seen this since season 1, but let's get into it. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Go to Patreon for the uncut reaction. Let's go.
But is 50 years like good enough?
What about 0? Is that better?
No, but I'm wondering if like there can be like the rumbling plus something else, or like something else that will just make it so that it can be for longer. You know?
They're like, can we go?
We've just been chilling here. We're like completely unrelated to this.
Is he just gonna... Okay, this is where we left off. Not quite.
Yeah.
There, Porco.
Trying your best.
You just got knocked across the whole fucking town. What's his plan? Ugh.
Oh my god.
Is it to rip his fucking head off? And then spin him around. Expose him. Zeke? That season 2 Beast Titan theme. I'll remember it till the day I die. The boy wonder himself. Oh shit. Leave it to Oni-chan. Oni-chan.
Oh no. Oh. I was like, if he's gonna like aim that at like anyone down in this city, the whole city's just destroyed.
Yeah. Season 3 part 2. Part 2? Oh, now we got ashes on the fire.
Oh no.
Oh my god. I still can't believe he's in the Panzer unit now. The Panzer unit. Not quite the same. I mean, you have the means to do it now. Oh,
No.
shit.
Oh no.
This is bad. For Pete.
I love how they're still wearing the scouts like outfit.
Yeah, oh, that's actually a good point.
They come flying in for a second, you're like, oh my god, and then you're like, oh, that's...
Wait.
Oh, it's you.
Oh shit.
It's true, they haven't seen each other since. Where even is Falco at this point? Where is
know.
he?
I don't know.
I have no
I
idea.
forget.
Okay, he's just in like a cell.
Question by Nile.
Didn't think so.
Oh shit. They accepted that pretty quick. They're just like, but what if we're not your enemy? Well, okay then. Just let him pass. She's leaving it behind.
No.
Oh shit.
Oh my god, did you see how many she has?
I bet she's gonna use every single one of them. I think that's in the opening.
Well, once again. Oh no.
Oh my god.
Can you relax with that pose? Ugh.
Got shredded.
今助けを必要としているのはライナーの方かな。チークここに。
Yeah.
Where's Hanji? There's so much going on.
But Flock's back here, so, you know.
They either gave up or they have her, I guess. What the fuck is that face?
Crying? I'm disturbed right
That
now.
was fucking terrifying.
That looks like a face that you just make normally.
Me?
Yeah.
That I make normally? Are they just gonna open fire on these guys? No. Nile is such a badass. He's such an underrated character. He's not going to. He's such an underrated character. Look at how much he's grown since season 1. Oh, Jesus. Mia and Ben. One step forward and 2 steps back.
ちが分かって私たち
A
は
room full of cages.
Bird cages.
的に悪夢ずっと同じことずっと同じことを繰り返してるごめんねファルコあんたは分かっていたのに
俺はレベリオの襲撃に加担している病院の少尉軍人がエレン・イェーガーだと知らずに手紙を区外のポストから彼の中レベリオで大勢殺されただからウドとソフィアも俺のせいでそうあとお前が好きだお前に鎧の巨人を継承してほしくないから俺と結婚してずっと幸せでいるためにお前に長生きしてほしかった
Oh.
何
Is some just gonna burst through the wall at
I
any moment
know.
or something? Like,
言い残すことはね
行こう
お前がリークさんが知れば叫びを阻止できるかもしれない
No.
there's no way he stops for Falco. I don't see Zeke stopping for fucking anybody.
Yeah.
You're not the only one with a sniper now there, Galliard.
The only thing that could happen is if Reiner found out that he had it, he could give him the armored titan because he's already
Yeah,
he's already
I think
a
I
titan.
called that last. Oh, that's a risky play. You really think she's dead? Wait, what? No way.
No.
They couldn't kill a Titan on
Yeah,
screen.
they're all like, who killed? Yeah.
They didn't have the stomach to kill Reiner on screen when he got sliced through the neck.
Yeah. One shot.
How? Maggot?
freaking
Fuck!
close.
No, I don't even know if I want that to happen.
If there's anyone that I wouldn't mind dying, it would probably be Zeke. Like,
Are you out of your fucking mind? Do you not remember his backstory? He was so awesome.
yeah, but I mean, like, for this, like, just for right now.
It's about to end right now. We fucked
I'm,
around
like,
in the
some,
prison
like,
cells.
Weird shit to just like.
We're gonna
come
either
in
gonna
and
see a flash or he's about to touch and then it ends. Watch. Watch. Classic Attack on
Great.
Titan.
Incredible.
I decided I want to skip the opening just to avoid spoilers, even though we've seen it a few times, and just to not refresh that every single
That's
time.
Like in the like birdcage this season.
Well, it was a metaphor from season 1. You might not know that because we watched English dub originally.
This is like very Promise Neverland season 2 Eevee.
You know what? You're absolutely right.
Like very like that.
I think I had that same thought because you know in context that ED is really weird. Yeah, the birdcage metaphor that was like it. You know, you might remember in season 1 when Eren was a kid and he's like yelling at Hannes at the gate, whatever, when they're coming back with firewood for the first the first scene, and then he's just like, "We live in a cage. We're just cattle." Or whatever.
Yeah.
That's actually a really bad, not really bad, it still gets the same message across, but like a lot of things in the dub, they are they're like getting the same idea across, but there's like an underlying subtext that runs throughout the whole thing in this metaphor. Like with the cattle metaphor, it doesn't properly explain all of the metaphors that we're seeing popping up now and all of the different things
we're not like
here.
seeing cows in a pen.
They did the same thing with Warrior, because when Annie revealed herself, she said in the sub, "I'm a warrior" or whatever before she bit her thing. That was like the first time we hear that, and that's supposed to like foreshadow or like be something to look back on when we hear more about Reiner and everything, them talking about it. But because she just they kind of glossed over like, oh, that's probably just a word to say this or that. It's a localization thing. Like, it gets the thing right in the moment, but it fucks it up over time. Anyway, what'd you think of that episode?
I just like so desperately want like I'm just like in anticipation of there's
using
something. There's gonna be something like, and it's gotta be something like crazy, and then it's just like
they just keep hitting.
Not quite. They're just like,
I don't know if they're
teasing us along, and then they just end it.
I don't know if they're dragging it out or if the manga's literally just like this and they're just, because they like.
They're just not trying not to skip over stuff to like make.
I think they're using every second they can to get all of the tension that they can out of every moment, which is fine. I always just whenever since the change happened with the animation studio, I always wonder if it would have played out this way if Tetsuro Araki were directing it, or if that team were handling it, would the pacing be the same? I'm not saying the pacing's even that bad. Because I don't know. It just seems like they're using every episode as an opportunity to leave off on a cliffhanger. And it's only been 2 technically for this part of the season, but they did it with last season. They did it multiple times as well. But anyway, all that shit aside, Gabi is now. She is finally no longer Gabi Gang. No longer #Gabi Gang is dead unless you count Gabi. Unless you're still in Gabi Gang after she realized that she is a racist, a self-hating racist. So now and the cage is open. So like when she says that, then there's the shot of the cage on the ground and it's lying open, and
and she realizes that Falco was just trying to help her, like trying to explain, like tell her what he already knew the entire time, and then that probably just makes her feel way more dumb. Like if the person she was with on like this crazy shit was like,
I don't think she feels dumb. She just she was just unwilling to see any other side, and well, not even that. She has clearly been struggling with what she did with Sasha and since coming here. And that's why she had all those crazy outbursts when they were first like getting the orphanage and shit. It's because she was seeing more, and she's like in the last few episodes, like from last season as well, she's been struggling with this with the admission of this, and now she finally has, so she can move forward and do what she thinks is right. And Falco admitted that he loves Gabi, and that's why he became a candidate. Yell in his face. Holy shit. What was that face?
Can we find that, please? I don't like that.
You said it looked like me.
I said, like, I feel like you can do a face like that. I feel like you've at one point made a face like
I love how then she makes, like, the anime girl, like, smile, like, I'm rooting for you. That's like a manga tracing for sure. You can tell the style. I love how they got the dimples in the chin when it's like all like that.
See, try and make that face.
I'm not gonna try and make that face just so you can put it in a thumbnail.
I can't believe everyone got fooled that Pete got killed. Like everyone, like Zeke was like, so that's it for you, and it's like, no. Not even close. They're all like, oh, did you do it? No, did you? I thought you did it.
It's crazy that that's what the skull looks like.
I guess it looks how you would expect it to look, but it is kind of...
I would have expected the teeth to be a bit longer. Anyway, I don't know. What else is there? What can we say about this? What more can we say about this episode? What I don't like is like a lot of it was just what we saw before. Like the first, how many minutes? The first like 5 minutes, I think. Up to, there was a little bit. There's them running up the stairs and a little bit extra conversation. There was a lot of recap in this episode. Like there was I can't even. I give all the shows that we watch the most benefit of the doubt that I can. that was a lot of recap. Anyway,
Yeah.
I like Nile.
That was nice.
Badass character. I've loved Nile since season 1. The scene where Erwin is in Stohess and he's like, he's arrested and he's just like, I watched the dub performance, by the way, for that scene is great, but he's just like, I will shoot you where you stand. He's like, fine, then you may have my post. But talk to this person for provisions. This person's in charge of blah, blah, blah. Trust them with your life. And then it's just like, wait, shut up. And just like, his relationship specifically, and especially in season 3 with Erwin, and how he's evolved, man. Like, Nile in season 1, he was like a new family man, and they brought that up like multiple times. Erwin talked to him about that, but they even brought that up here, that and seeing the flashbacks of him with Erwin, like them growing up, and Nile chose the safer route of, you know, being a career military man, and Erwin was the person with a dream, and in his death, he's clearly been inspired by that. But like, Nile had a family, and he was on the straight and narrow path as far as the military went, as corrupt as it was. He didn't know, he was just a soldier, he was just a guy following orders, he was just a guy who wanted to like live his life and, you know, have a family of his own. So he had like 2 freshly newborn girls and was just doing what the military told him. Get Eren Yeager, you know, on trial and fucking, you know, hold him against the coals. And over time, we've seen him like really evolve, and now the point where he's like, he's not like out for himself in a selfish way, but he's at the point, and through his progression it makes sense that he sees the individual in people. Like, he was so much like, I guess, selfish originally, but he still has that like individualistic mentality. He's not a collectivist like Erwin is. Erwin like didn't give a fuck. Well, actually that's not true. Erwin's way more complicated than just one thing. But he was all about like, you know, whatever it takes for humanity to survive, even though he wanted to see the basement, he wanted to find out the truth, whatever, that's his whole thing. But he was a lot more big picture. Nile, in a way, is becoming more like that, but he's still very focused on like individual people. That's why he saved Falco here, because he is a family man. He knows that like all of this is just way bigger. I don't know. It's really cool. It just shows a lot of growth in him, that he would do this and like let Falco go. It's really great. I love that so much for him. And I think with that, his character arc is kind of complete, because he had, in season 1, he had a prisoner and he didn't want to let it go, and he wanted to try and control everything, and the city's burning and he's responsible, and he needs to like keep everything under control. That's his job. In this one, the city is fucking burning. There's titans all over the place, just like in season 1 in Stohess. He's one of the highest ranking military officers now. He is one of the people who are responsible, and he has a captive now. And instead of fighting to like keep everything under control, he just go, because you being with your brother, or, you know, doing what you think is right, is more important than like this battle or whatever, or me holding you here, you know. Like it's such a small potatoes thing. Yeah. So it shows a lot of growth. Would you rather keep a child prisoner, or just like, cause you know, let him have a good last few minutes in this city that's on fire and being destroyed from all angles? Yeah. It's really, his character's really interesting, and I feel like he's really slept on by a lot of like the Attack on Titan fan base, because he's not like Gabi screaming or like Eren freaking out or anything. He's not a main character. He's kind of like a bystander in the background, kind of like Keith, who we saw this episode. And yeah, it's really interesting. Yeah, that was nice. Do you think that Eren's gonna get to Zeke on the ground there? I think so. I think he will, but it's not gonna be the end. It's not gonna be that simple. Either their plan is going to come to fruition in that moment and everyone's just not gonna have genitalia or whatever the fuck is gonna happen, whether they just don't work or they just disappear. I don't know which is more likely. But I
don't think Aaron's going with that plan.
Yeah, that's the thing as well. I'm not sure if after this whole talk with Armin and everything, and before, like, you never can tell. I feel like Aaron has a different plan. I feel like I've already talked about the plan, but I feel like he's going to take all of it onto himself, etc. What were you were gonna say something?
I was gonna say they're building it up for so long that I'm like at this point they kind of either something out of control has to happen or they have to you know what I mean, like. Or else it's just gonna go drag on forever and ever of them like almost touching but not quite touching, you know what I mean? So I'm like, either next episode it's gonna happen and shit's gonna go down, or some other like thing that we've forgotten about is gonna like come back into play, and then you know, like that, like something's gonna happen that way, because something is like building, something has to happen, but I'm like, is it gonna be them touching and this early into the season we're just gonna
I think that they can touch, but we've seen that girl who we had a couple theories about who she is. I think that it's possible that she's Ymir, the original, and I don't know. I think that maybe she will stop it, or something will happen with the magic that will say it's, you know, does not compute, it doesn't work, and maybe they like mold into a fleshy like blob or some shit. Like I feel like it's gonna be operator error. They're gonna get an error message back and they're gonna have to Google it or something. Blue screen of death.
I'm also like, I guess I just really want Annie to wake up, but I'm wondering.
Annie's gonna wake up.
I'm wondering if that's gonna be the thing.
It's in the
like
opening.
if she's gonna like wake up before they touch, and then that'll throw something into it because Annie's awake and no one knows what side she's on, or like what her deal is and what she's doing. But everyone would know who she was because everyone knows that she exists and she's like lurking down there asleep.
But she's forgotten at this point.
But
like she's not the main focus. She's still in like either the central district or under Stohess or something. By the way, all the shit that I've been spoiled on is like all shit that was in the opening, just so you know. So I'm like as fresh as you are at this point. I saw the Annie waking up, that type of shit. You see that in the opening. I was spoiled on that. But it'll be really interesting to see like when that happens. Or what will happen when she does wake up? Are there still guards posted there? Or I mean, there have to be, right? But like,
you know what would be crazy?
She's gonna like, is she gonna fight her way out, or is she gonna like sneak out, or is she gonna?
It would be crazy if the rumbling like happened and she woke up from that, and then she just came out and everything was fucking destroyed, and she's just like.
Yeah, that might be it. Maybe they start the rumbling. Maybe they don't do the full-on plan, but they inadvertently start the rumbling.
Yeah, because they have all these plans, and like Zeke has a plan, and Aaron has like his secret plan, but who knows how much control they're actually gonna have over what happens? You know, like they haven't touched it.
These are like
Aaron
powers of gods and shit.
Has used ability with Historia, but he didn't even mean to. Like that was complete fluke and accident that he. And
it's all based on a theory, a well reasoned theory by Glass's guy, the previous, I forget his name, the like the father figure to Zeke. The previous Beast Titan, he like did a lot of research or did a lot of thinking and theorizing on the power of the Titans and came up with this plan and passed it down to Zeke. So. But that's not to say that he knew everything there is about this. There's clearly, like, we didn't see the little girl fucking, you know, like, he probably didn't foresee that. There's so much to these powers that we don't know. Yeah. I
can't believe Zeke, like, you missed by, like, this much.
But it's gonna, I wonder, so here's the thing. As a huge fan of like the first 3 seasons, specifically the style of season 1, the way that music is used is like way different in this. First of all, the soundtrack for this is a cobbled together version of all the previous seasons, whereas the previous seasons, this is going towards something with Zeke. There's no like a new original sound. There's like a couple tracks. There's the Ashes on the Fire or whatever. But the way, and I made a whole video about this, by the way, that you can watch on our channel, about why I think season 1 is like the best directed season of Attack on Titan, even better than season 3, part 2. But they use music in a very specific way in the first 3 seasons, because it's kind of with Araki, the previous director's style. And I don't know if this shot, because of like the way that everything's paced normally in the series and the way that scenes kind of used to flow, I don't know whether Zeke getting shot in the side here is like a big blow and then Eren's gonna like eat Zeke, or he's going to like, you know, if this is that going to be, is that spelling the end to Zeke? I don't know, because of like the way that these episodes are flowing. It's clear to me, I mean, it's not clear to me. It is, I'm guessing that the way that these episodes are written and directed, they've sort of written out a season and then are cutting it where they think it makes sense and for time-wise. So like, or they're developing it. Like each episode literally is flowing into themselves to where if they were edited side by side, it would be more like a movie. It seems like that's the approach they're taking to this. So it becomes a little bit split up, and I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know, based on this attack, if this is meant to be like, oh my god, Zeke's fucking taken right out, or if it's just another glancing blow.
People get destroyed like really badly in Titan form, but everyone seems to be at such a high level with their Titans that it just doesn't matter that much.
So like in terms of the actual powers, anything can happen, I know. So I'm relying on like what the cues that the show is giving on, like, this was a really badass play by Peak. Does that mean that like because it was badass on her part, does it mean that this is a really big deal on his part? Normally there would be like a more of a build up to it or something like that if we were watching the style of the previous seasons. Obviously this is a new style, fine, but it doesn't have that same flow or doesn't use those same cues that the previous seasons used. It doesn't have that same bombastic like splash. Every moment is like a big thing. So, and because the Titans can do fucking anything that I can't expect, what I'm trying to say is I don't know what's going to happen next episode, and I'm extremely excited. I talked a lot of shit in this discussion. If you made it to the end of this, then thank you for watching. But I love this. I love the show. Can't wait to see the next one. What about you?
Yeah, I'm interested to see if Falco is going to, if there's been like Falco, since he ate the Titan juice, Titan wine secretly. I'm more thinking that he's gonna get the armored Titan.
Yeah.
Because it's all like Zeke won't do it. Zeke won't scream if he knows that's gonna happen to you. Zeke definitely would, but who wouldn't would be Reiner wouldn't want him to.
I forgot about the wine last episode when we were starting up, and I was saying that like all Reiner gives a shit about is the kids. That's true, and I think that means that he's going to like sacrifice himself and let Falco take him. Maybe Zeke in this last, maybe that's it. Maybe Zeke in this last moment will scream, activate all the Titans.
Reiner's gonna see Falco and then come out and like go towards
feed
him
himself to Falco in a last ditch effort, and then hopefully trying to save his life.
Yeah.
And then we'll see what happens after that.
Because at this point, anyone who's a Titan is already dead. Specifically, anyone who's
they only have like a year or two left. Max.
Other than Armin, who's like
he has
was
like
a
5
Titan
years
later, and then
I
guess
8 years.
I guess
I don't know. More.
Galliard as well, because he's a Titan.
He has a lot
he's
more,
like the most recent one. But everyone else, they're on like their last year or two. So it's like, at this point, if Reiner could use his last bit of good to like give that to someone else who is already dead, because giving that to someone who has the rest of their life ahead of them, like he wouldn't give it to Gabi because that would kill that.
Especially
it's giving a death sentence to someone, but if they're already dead, similar case to Armin, then it's
well,
good.
exactly. Yeah, You're giving them some extra time when their life is basically forfeit, and Falco knows that at this point. Also, like I said last episode, if you think about it in context of like the foreshadowing of Reiner is, I think literally, this is exactly what happened. Reiner is literally putting the gun in his mouth. He has it like the rifle or whatever, and then he hears outside like Falco talking, and then he's like, "Oh wait, I have them still," or whatever. To me, like that scene in conjunction with this theory, I think is rock solid. I think that's fully going to happen. Yeah. I'm excited.
Me too.
I hope
something happens next episode.
Me too. Well, things are happening, but it's a slow burn.
But I'm like, there's gonna be that one thing that is gonna, I don't know.
You can't have a series, a series build-up climax happen every single episode, but we did get a lot of character shit, especially with Gabi. That can't be overlooked. There's a lot that did happen, but it does feel like the pacing, it's like paced out specifically to get the most out of its cliffhangers and most tension out of every moment, like I said. Which is nothing new for Attack on Titan. Hope you guys leave a like and subscribe. Hope you subscribe. Stay tuned for the next one. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
And we'll see you then. Bye-bye.